This segment brought to you by Kansas Wheat. Learn more at rediscoverwheat.org.
So this slide summarizes what we've heard from and what we've gleaned from that FOIA information, as well as what we've heard from our members. So when they're coming into your facility, they're in there for, a day, some of them 4 hours, some of them, a day and a half. So about an average of a day. Again, it's federal and state inspectors. They're going to do a thorough walkthrough of your plant. They're looking, and one of the main things that they've been citing is pest control. So they're looking at cleanliness of the facility, both inside and out, and documenting any pest activity that they see, spillage, piling. There's been another citation for, having in your warehouse, having your pallets too close to the wall, move them 18 inches away, those kind of things. So I'll talk a little bit more about pest control in a minute. Unlabeled containers and trash cans is another citation that's been there. They are asking to see some documentation. So one of the quirks of the regulations for the current good manufacturing practices is they never required record keeping, except for your training. Okay, so you're not required to keep records for your CGMPs to prove your pest control program, or if you have, mycotoxins, any things like that you're doing testing like that as part of your CGMPs. You don't have to keep records for it. Most likely you're going to keep records for that, right? Because if you don't do it, you can't prove that you've done it to them. So they can't necessarily ask you to see those records, but they are asking to see the ones that they can. So the qualified individual training. So everyone in your facility that deals with feed safety or hygiene needs to be trained as a qualified individual. AFIA has put together a video for our members that helps you do that, the documentation you need to prove that, and they are asking to see that information. They have been asking about your preventive controls qualified individual training, which gets at your animal food safety plan and the preventive control side. So when they were in there doing CGMP inspections, they were asking about other portions of the rule, even though they weren't there doing that inspection. They've been going, like I said, to all different types of facilities, and they have gone to some retail commodity blenders, which is one type of facility that they hadn't, or we weren't aware that they had ever visited in the past. So if you are one of those, or folks in that industry, they are doing inspections there. And the other thing is they're asking for records that they don't necessarily have the authority to see. And we've gone back and forth with the agency, and we've put out information to our members on how do you deal with those questions when they come in. So they've asked to see your recipes, or they've asked volume of product that you produce in the mill. One of the other ones they've asked about is complaint files. So they come in and they ask, can I see your complaint files? And they have no authority to see that if you are not manufacturing a medicated feed. If you're manufacturing a medicated feed, then they have the ability to see that for the medicated article itself. But if you're not manufacturing medicated feed, there is no authority under the CGMPs or FSMA for them to see your complaint files. But that's part of their standard operating procedure as inspectors, to come in and ask for that information. They say it helps give them the lay of the land in your facility, what issues you might be having, areas that they would want to look into further while they're there. But make sure your people are familiar with the rule, what your requirements are, what they have authority to see. I mean, that's the best way to prepare. And then tell your story. Our industry has been producing safe feed and pet food and ingredients for years. We just maybe haven't called them current good manufacturing practices, or maybe wasn't in the FSMA language of a food safety plan. But you guys have been doing it. Just be prepared to tell your story and show off your facility.
Sure Crop Fertilizers was started by my father, Don Sherman, and my mother, Shirley Sherman. Family business that started in the 80s. We predominantly focus on plant nutrients and what we can do to give growers better responses for with the fertilizer dollars that they do and what we can do to make those things work better for the grower. We're based out of Seneca, Kansas. We work with growers in their soil analysis to figure out what they need, and then we can put those in a blend that gives them the best results, and so that we can deliver that direct to their farm so that they have those nutrients where they need them, when they need them, and so that they can apply them in a manner that's very efficient to them and works well on their planting systems and what they're doing. Sure Crop Fertilizers has been around for a long time. We always say we're big enough to take care of everything you need, but we're small enough to do it quickly. You can get a hold of us at 1-800-635-4743. Our website is surecropfertilizers.com, and you can always email me at Corey@surecropfertilizers.com, and with any questions you have, we'll be glad to answer it and work with you.